Hi everyone, welcome back to Fill Your Cup. I am Vanda Farhan and I am so happy to be back here on this cold, rainy Sunday. I thank you so very much for your continuous support if you are returning and if you are here for the first time. I am Vanda Farhan and I am a Christian single mom and I post every Sunday on faith and inspiration and encouragement for my single moms out there or anyone in general. So this week, I'm actually really excited about this word. I was reading about the story of Jericho in Joshua, and I learned about Rahab. Now, I've heard about Rahab before, but I did not know, the details. And based on different life events that I have been going through recently, and even life events that other people that I know have been going through as well in this particular season, I thought that this was the most appropriate, like this word at this time was so appropriate. And again, it's just a testimony of how good God is, that He leads us to His word to bring us comfort, to bring us hope, to show that we're not alone and to show that there is always encouragement, and we should not be discouraged at any time, because everything that we go through, every season that we go through is to teach us something, to teach us how to persevere, how to endure, how to come out on top, and most importantly, how to help someone else. So to get into what I read, it was Joshua chapter 2, verses 3 to 4. And just to give a briefing on it, it's the Israelites. The Israelites, they were told by God that they were going to God promised them the promised land, right? And this was the land of Jericho. However, they had to fight for the land, and they needed strategy. And Joshua sent 2 spies into Jericho to search it out and see what was happening, to come back and give their army some feedback so they will know where they could attack and stuff like that. And when the spies went in, they were almost caught, and then Rahab, she saved them, she hid them, which was such a brave thing, because she put her life on the line, her children life on the line. Like, she almost more or less almost sacrificed herself by making this decision, by hiding 2 spies. And when the king sent their men to her house to find out where the men, for her to give the men up, she said, well, she lied, and she said that they were there but they have now gone. And she did not confess to hiding these men. And then after the men left, which is the soldiers, I believe it's soldiers, I'm not sure, after the soldiers left, then she helped the 2 spies escape, right? And I had to really dig deep into this, because I was so confused, because she's from there. So why would you help 2 strangers who's coming to take over Jericho, to take over the entire land where you're from? Like, why would you help them escape? Why would you even help them at all? And when I started to read about it, it really blew my mind, because Rahab was a prostitute. She did not have a relationship with God. She did not know Him personally. But when I read more about it, she actually heard about God, and she heard about the things that He did. The parting of the Red Sea, how He delivered the Israelites out of Egypt. She heard of the things that He did for them. And because of the things that she heard that God did for others, she more or less made that decision that if God sent these people to take over this land, then who are we to overcome their God. Like their God is so powerful. Like I've heard of the things that he has done. So she had no doubt in her mind that Joshua and they were going to win. They were going to take over the land. So she made that decision that I am going to help them because I heard of their God, and their God is the most powerful God. And that is why she made that decision to save the spies. So in turn, when they succeed in taking over Jericho, her and her children will be spared. And this was such an eye-opener, because first of all, like, we cannot ignore the fact that Rahab was a prostitute. And I mean, in those days, that was a big thing. Overall, when it comes to things like a prostitute and God and the two coming together, like, that is like a big, it's a big conversation or a big topic. People will talk about and stuff like that, and they're quick to judge. They might say, if you're a prostitute, like, why are you helping these men of God? Like, who are you to help them? Or they will just say stupid things. And I think that this is a representation. This story in itself was another great representation of how God works and why no one should ever put him in a box. Like the religious comments and the religious attacks and stuff like that does not represent who God is. Because in this situation, Rahab did not know God. She heard about him. However, I believe that this was God using her. This is a lady who had faith for a God she didn't know, for a God she heard of, like she heard about, and I believe that God used her to bring awareness as well to other people who are condemning themselves, to other people who don't know God and believe that because of whatever situation they are in, or because of their circumstances, because of the label that they might have from society, from the things that they have done or the things that they are currently in, because of these things, they may think that God cannot use them, and they may think that they can't be helped, by God. But in this particular situation, God represented so much hope. He represented that there is a place for everyone. There is space for everyone, and there is nobody that he cannot use. And faith, it also represented the power of faith. Like, you need to have faith. Like, she had faith, and it saved her and her family, and it was definitely encouragement for me, because I mean, even we go through things, and it's not even things this big. Like, to me, when I compare my situation to this, like, they're going to war to take over land, and she was a prostitute, and she had to make, her life was on the line for her and her children. And I mean, in comparison, I'm not saying that my situation or the things that I go through sometimes are not difficult, but in comparison, those things were so much more difficult. And still, with our situations being not as difficult, sometimes we write ourselves off, or we sell ourselves short, or we make that decision for God, where we say, I've done these things, and that's probably why God may not help me, or who am I that God will help me over someone else. This is proof. Like, if you needed proof, use this video as proof today. Like, this is proof that it does not matter. I do not believe that the God that created us expected any of us to be perfect. This is why he uses every single situation to grow us and teach us more about ourselves. And I have learned that the more that we try to learn about Jesus is the more you learn about yourself, because were made in his image. So the closer I've gotten to God is the more I learned about who I am and who I am destined to be, and the story that he has wrote for my life, and the call on my life, and where I need to be, and where I do not need to be, and who I need to be connected to, and the situations and the circumstances and the people I do not need to be connected to. So if you are confused, if you're in a situation or a season that you are confused and you need to know who you are, you need to know if God is using you, if he can use you, if there is hope. Yes, there is hope, and he is using you, and he will continue to use you to help others, but you need to get close to him. Trust and believe. Like, I'm not saying this because of anything I've heard, I'm saying this because of what I experienced, of my own journey with Christ, of the different situations that he has brought me through, and it's never ending. Like, there is not a quick fix, or yeah, God is a miracle worker and he perform a miracle and then it's done. No, it gets better every time. Like, yes, you go through difficult seasons, difficult situations, but that is the only way that God gets to shine. Like, he gets to show how powerful he is through these situations. You will not know the strength of God, you will not know the power of God if everything is always good, if everything is always happy and peaceful. Sometimes there are places that he is taking us that, in order for us to be who we need to be when we reach our destination, we need to be stretched through the journey, because the journey will mold us for the destination. And I believe that is a season I'm going through right now, and sometimes it's hard, but I'm grateful for every step of the way. I will not change any of it, because I love who I am becoming through it, and I love discovering new parts of who I am through different struggles. Because if someone was to tell me, I would go through a certain thing, I would say, no way. There's no way I'll be able to go through that. There is no way I'll be able to overcome. But then I've been through it, and I overcame it, and I'm still going through different things, and I'm still overcoming it, and every day I'm seeing the goodness in each day. And I am beyond grateful, because I could not have done any of that without God, and I believe that it was all constructed and ordered by him. My steps are ordered by the Lord. And for anyone else who's going through the same thing, you have doubts, you have questions, you feel discouraged, trust in God. Like, the journey is so worth it. You need to find out more about who you are. Speak to God about it. Learn more about him, and he will expand your mind. He will expand your territory. He will teach you things that no one can teach you. And most of all, have faith, because faith is the substance of things not known, the evidence of things not seen. So when you look around, you won't see. It won't look like things are in your favor. People will come against you. Everything around you is going to look messy sometimes, but that is where faith comes in. That you're not seeing it, but he's working it out. You have to have faith that he's going to come through, and I believe that this is what the story was about, to show that even a woman who was a prostitute had to make a decision to save her family. She made the decision to trust in a God that she did not know, but in a God that she heard of. And it's beautiful, and it was such an eye-opener for me. And I pray and hope that this is an eye-opener for you, and that it brings you hope for this week ahead, for whatever you may be going through. God is with you. He will not fail you. and just continue to trust and believe in Him. Yeah. So I believe that is it for this week. If you have any questions, you can put it in the comments below. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Share this video with anyone who you think may need encouragement, who is going through any season or situation right now, and they really, really need to know who God is, or they need to know that they are not alone, because we are definitely not alone. Please feel free to share it with them. And please continue to keep me and my family in your prayers, and I will definitely be praying for you all as well. So thank you again for spending time with me. I truly, truly, truly appreciate each and every one of you. So until next week, stay filled up, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. Take care. Bye, guys.